Okay, we're ready.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Time Zones. This is your favorite podcast. This is our favorite thing to do in quarantine. I'm back with my co-host Salman Sukran Ali, the owner of Shams, the legend himself. And today we are joined by another legend, Islamabad's great. He's known as the most buffest guy of Islamabad. He has been tearing up the streets and Instagram. So please, guys, welcome Shafa Trains.
Hi guys, I hope you're all doing good.
Woo!
Thank you,
That was such
Saad
a
and
good
That
Salman,
was
for
that
intro.
was
giving me.
such that was such an
Yeah,
energetic
exactly.
intro.
That was a really nice intro. Thank you for that as well. Yeah, it's really nice to
Hell
be here
yeah.
with you guys and like
Likewise,
really
man.
excited
Likewise.
to talk to you guys. So how's the
Yeah,
quarantine
man.
going for you guys?
Yeah, I mean we're
Doing
doing pretty
solid.
well.
You
What?
seem pretty
Saad, you
busy.
seem pretty
Busy. I've got a lot of
busy.
free
I've got a
time
lot of free
personally.
time personally.
No,
That's good.
dude. If you have been slacking off on uploading the files because you have free time, I'll be mad. You had your
Yeah,
robot
yeah.
project.
Okay. Here's
You had your
here's
robot
the
project
thing.
going on.
It's like I have days where I have nothing at all to do. Like I'll spend an entire day doing nothing, and then the next day I'll wake up at 10 and I'll be working on shit till like midnight.
That's nice.
So it's on and off, It's
So
on and
what's your
off,
routine like, man? Like, what do you like? Like, what are you doing? Like the world already knows what we're doing. Like, what is your routine? Being one of the biggest
Honestly, I have no idea. These days, I'll be honest, I'm being pretty lazy. I just like it will be amazing if I work out like 3 times a week. That's the most I've been doing since the lockdown,
really.
to be honest. Yeah.
I think
I've been very, very, very
I
lazy.
think our takeaway, sorry to interrupt you, Shafa, but our main takeaway from this podcast should be that I currently work out more than you. That's all. That's all we need to know.
Shafa. I said this in the last podcast, but the only reason Salman fucking works out, I think it's similar as yours, but like the only reason he fucking works out is because he wants a reason to eat as many sweets as possible. Like this guy literally fucking lives on chocolate.
Yeah,
He's like,
same,
I
bro.
want an
Same, same.
excuse.
I mean, dude,
Yeah,
dessert
I know,
is
right?
life.
Yeah,
No
both
doubt.
of you, man. Both of you guys are like dessert fucking freaks, man. So
Yeah,
Salman, do we have any interesting questions that we want to ask Shafa? Something
Well, I think we should tell the world a bit about Shafa first, and tell me a bit about Shafa first, because I feel like Saad, you know him a lot better. Here's what I know, Shafa. You're a personal trainer who's really got shit going for himself. You, I believe, do personal training, and you also have some sort of fitness consultation, I've heard. So tell us more about that. How you're structured as a business.
yeah, we
I
want to
didn't
hear
get
about
the last part. Your audio cut at the last part. I'm really sorry. You said
Oh,
tell
so
us more
I was
about.
saying about how you've structured yourself as a business.
Okay, okay, sure. So basically, it started off as it was supposed to be a fun page on Instagram, not a business oriented anything at all. I just wanted to,
yeah.
like put out my content on something. I used to put it on my personal Insta, but then I asked a few people, a few friends of mine and all that, do you think I should make a page? And they were all like, yeah, why not? So I did that, and still, it wasn't supposed to be something business oriented or anything. I was just
Yeah.
posting random stuff, and then after a while, and I'll be honest, Saad was one of my inspirations as well. So I got to meet him because of Sada. If anyone doesn't know, we study in the same school in Nust. We're batchmates actually. So yeah, I talked to him about it as well, and I talked to a few other people, and I decided that it could be turned. It was a good business opportunity, so I could do something with that. So what I did first was reach out to people if they were willing to train with me or if they wanted me to help them online or through any medium at all. So a lot of people were interested, and I wasn't expecting such a good number to tell me they wanted to train with me. So I started doing that, and I remember it was 2019. It was about to be summer holidays, so I asked people if they were interested in personal training because the summer vacation was about to start. And thankfully, I got quite a few people that were willing to train with me, and I chose a few of them, and that's how it started. And then after university, I had to cut down the number because we have school for most part of the day. But since then, it's been going great, and I've got a lot of other opportunities as well through the way. So it's been working out good.
That is really cool. Do you have any online services that you sell to people?
They're not too successful, but what I do is I do make workout plans and
Meal
food
plans.
plans for people who reach out to me. But a lot of people aren't interested in that because people don't think, especially in Pakistan, that that thing is sort of trustworthy so far. So, a lot of people don't get the online thing. People are more interested in one-on-one conversations or training.
That's fair. Yeah. Have you seen any growth in your online services since quarantine? Because I know that's been a big thing here. Like,
No, to be honest, because people like me are getting more lazy, and I'm supposed to, convince them to work hard or something. And I'm being a very, very bad example, but that's the truth.
Oh. Yo, we missed up on this part, but this guy is also the brand ambassador for TFIT, which is one of Pakistan's largest, it's like one of the
Thank
largest
you.
and fastest growing athleisure companies. And this guy has been absolutely tearing it up. And this
that
guy
is
has
pretty
been
cool.
just like killing it on that. So tell us more about your TFIT journey and what has been going on from over there.
Yeah, sure. I'll be honest, this is something I really like to talk about because it happened, it was sort of an accident how it all started. So I ordered these trousers from T-Fit a long time back, and to be honest, I wasn't too happy with them. I felt like they were too tight on me. So I didn't wear them for a long time. And then one day I decided to
Yeah,
wear them, and I posted a picture and I randomly just tagged them because at that time I was, just trying to grow up my page, and I thought maybe if they would repost, it would be, you know, reach out to more people and all. And fortunately, the
yeah.
guy who's the owner, he was, at the page at that time, and he saw that post, and he was like, I really like your work, and I would like to work with you. And then I told him, I'll be honest about that. Trouser मुझे पसंद नहीं आता ये वो. So he's like, yeah, we can fix that. Why not? So
Yeah,
he sent me another package, and he's like, this is the stuff that we got from this season. So try it out and like post whatever you think about it. And
yeah,
that time it was pretty better. It had been 2 years since the last order. So you could tell that they improved over time.
yeah.
And the stuff was pretty better this time. And then I posted about it, and they were really happy with the outcome from my side. And after a few months, they were like, we can work together on this. And I was like, why not? So they made me their brand ambassador.
Hell yeah, bro. That's a great story for anybody, for anyone who wants to start a brand or who's into just doing anything. Literally,
Exactly
buy
true.
something you like, post about it, or even hit up the people who own that product and all that. Be like, I would like to
Exactly. Yeah.
work or work
Why
with
don't
you.
you
Yeah,
Why don't you tell the Soul Fest story? And I'm gonna grab my bottle of water.
yeah.
Like how
Okay, so
we
basically,
managed to get in.
so apart from this podcast, guys, I even have a vlog channel. I've said that multiple times, right? So what happened was that there was a food festival in Islamabad. It's called Soul Fest. So that was happening, and the scene with that event was that they apparently had a lot of influencers going to that event. I'm like, this is interesting because I wanted to go to that event regardless, and the ticket wasn't too pricey. But like I was like, okay, this could be an interesting vlogging opportunity. I was like, so then Shafa hit up the page I was like, heading Soulfest and everything, and he asked them, okay, bros, do you guys have any discounts or any packages for influencers who might want to come and shoot content there? They're like, yeah. If you come and shoot content for us, we will give you like a free pass just to go in. And that was like that, and we instantly saved like a couple of hundred to a few thousand rupees right there. And then when we went inside, we offered the same services to the different brands and the different pop-up shops that were there. So we had food that was, how much was it worth? Like 4,000, 5,000 rupees worth of food. We had it for like 2K total,
Yeah,
and we
most, yeah.
and we
Oh my
had
god! Oh my god!
and we ate so much fucking food, and we
Yeah.
spent very little. And at the end of the day, I got great content. This guy got great content. We got great food, and it was very, very fucking cheap.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It was
guys,
a good dinner.
whatever you guys are going to do, if you're going to an event or if you're doing something, just like literally be like, Salman, this is a lesson for you, man.
No, that's terribly unethical. Don't do that.
No,
Don't do
Don't do
that.
that.
it's
Honestly,
not.
like,
It's not unethical. It's not unethical.
You're a vlogger, but don't tell like random people on the streets to like start making up bullshit. So that's not how this works.
no, he did
Okay,
mention in the
okay, okay.
beginning that if you're, into these things and
I
you
did
want to get
mention.
out and
Okay, all
make
right,
good
all right.
content, yeah.
You
I
got
did
me. You
mention, but
got
like
me there.
Salman, you're practically a social media star now. You're like
Yes,
on the
yes,
fame,
yes.
man. You can be like, I'll talk about the shit on my podcast with my dumbass host.
That would work.
Yeah. So yeah, what else do we have for him?
So, I mean, actually, before we move on, that reminded me of a really interesting thing that ties into a lot of what we've spoken about. Yesterday, or well, last week was Easter, I believe. So I went to Walmart yesterday and they had 50% off on all Easter chocolate. And I just want you to know that I bought so much chocolate yesterday. And I ate a bunch of it. And then what I did was I took the entire bag and I threw it on top of the highest cabinet I have because otherwise I just keep taking more and more out. So now if I want more chocolate, I'm gonna have to physically climb up and get it out. And that's the only thing stopping me from just eating all of it.
I live with my family, so sometimes we get, huge bulk of chocolates or biscuits and all. So when I'm about to go after dinner, I tell my family to, hide all that stuff because if it's there when I go there, when I, creep out of my room at night, it's all gonna disappear. So make sure you hide that. So most of the times they do hide it and
You,
leave a couple of outside.
Oh
I
my
have
god.
that same
So
shit
relatable.
with I had that same shit with Coke and with nuggets, with fried chicken nuggets. I open up the freezer, it's filled with fucking nuggets. I'm like, how do you not expect me to eat that shit? I'm like, how do you not
Exactly.
expect me to go out and fry that shit and then eat it, man? Like same with Coke, man. Like Coke and nuggets, man. I might just go and try some right now.
Yeah, that
But
I
is
guess
yeah,
that,
sweets
that
is the
is
only thing
fair.
that are my guilty pleasure. I'm not too much into nuggets or fries or Coke even.
yeah,
All I care about is
I'm the
chocolate.
opposite. I'm the opposite. Like I don't give a I don't give a shit about sweet stuff, but when it comes to this type of shit, I'm like all in, bros. मतलब कोई scene ही नहीं है.
Salman, I have a question for you. What would you say is your favorite desi dessert?
My favorite desi dessert, probably I really like rasmalai a
Nice
lot.
choice.
This is
You're
one week I
asking the
went
guy
to.
who owns Shams what his
Listen,
favorite desi dessert is? You're asking the
so
guy who owns Shams what
dude,
his
I
favorite
love
desi
all
dessert is?
dessert.
This guy,
I went to the
this
Indian
guy
store
runs
a couple of
Sad.
days ago. So I go to the Indian store and I saw like a
the.
packet of like 30 frozen rasmalai, and
Oh, nice.
I ate 30 pieces in like I think 5 days.
Shit. Oh, nice. That's a good
That's
record.
like eating a
Holy
bucket of cheese,
shit!
dude. It
I
was
would rank Rasmalai at number two, and I would rank Jalebi at number one. These two things I fucking love. I can get
jalebi. I
enough
like
of.
jalebi if it's really
My
thin, you
favorite desi
know.
dessert, gulab jamun. Gulab jamun,
I'm not
number
into
one.
gulab jamun
Gulab
too
jamun,
much.
number one.
Gulab jamun is good, but you can't have too much, you know. Like jalebi, rasmalai, you can keep eating and you don't feel bad.
Exactly. Yeah,
You
there's
have
no
That's
like
fair.
calorie on you.
you have like six gulab jamun and you regret everything you've ever done.
True, true, true.
Oh shit. So Shafa, what's some quick advice for that anybody can implement during this quarantine? I know that a lot of people don't have much shit going on in their lives, and what are a few quick workouts that they can do, or a few quick exercises that they can do from the comfort of their own room or their own home that are like really easy to do and but really effective
Right.
as well.
So the first thing would be, I'll be honest, I didn't know you were talking in the workout perspective, but I'll get to that in a minute. But something I do want to mention is I was watching this video recently, and the guy was talking
Yeah.
about how, we're all lazy, so hard to get your shit together and start. And he said, make a list of things you want to do throughout the day. They don't have to be too much, maybe even two things at most. And just give them 5 minutes a
Uh-huh.
day for a couple of days, 3 days, 4 days, maybe. And after the fifth day or the sixth day, you'll want to give it 10 minutes because you like what you're learning or you like what you're doing since you're
Interesting.
bored anyway. So I did that a couple of weeks ago. I made a list of few things I wanted to do, and that's been going great now. So if you're not working out right now or you feel too lazy, I would suggest you do that. Take out just 5 minutes. That's more than enough if you want to start. So and you don't even have to do too much. If you want to like do 5 push-ups, that's a start as well. Obviously better than
Yeah.
someone who's not doing push-ups, right? So moving on to the
Yeah.
exercises, I would say it's hard to explain everything, through video without demonstrating a lot of things. But I would divide your body into three or maybe 4 or 5 parts, like the arms aside, or maybe divide the arms into bicep, triceps as well, the shoulders
Yeah.
aside, the back aside, and give it 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes a day. The basic exercises, if I get into that, that would be too much detail. But if you just Google something like back workout or chest workout at home, you'll find it. I recently posted a video on Instagram that has two workout, per body
Yeah.
part. But briefly speaking, like for the chest, you can do push-ups, and there are like more than 70 variations of push-ups. So like just two variations of push-ups alone is not too bad for your chest. When it comes to back, now that's a tricky part since it's a full exercise, and you need to hold onto something to pull yourself up. So that's why I was saying it's kind of hard to demonstrate while I'm talking, but you could do rows with a chair or with a stick you have at your home. So like the list goes on and on, but it's pretty easy to target each and every muscle of your body at home.
Damn, I did not know that.
That's pretty good advice. I've actually been using an app called 8Fit, and it's very similar to what you said. It gives you a 10 to 15-minute workout every day, and it's all stuff you can do at home. There's no weights required. Sometimes they'll ask you to use like water bottles or something just for some more resistance, but it's really intense. Like I've been doing it for like 4 months, or no, for over 8 months now, and I'm still exhausted after every workout because it's really intense. And it's all the at most I'll maybe use a chair or like a water bottle for weights. I haven't had to like buy dumbbells or anything like that, so it's a pretty good workout.
It's all about how creative you can get with your workouts, and a lot of people have been posting really nice stuff in the quarantine these days, like local people from Pakistan as well as people from outside Pakistan. So that has given other people inspirations as well. Like, each person adds his perspective and his way of thinking to an idea he sees, right? So I've seen how people started off with just a chair and then adding like something as simple as a towel to the chair to come up with an exercise that targets another body part. So that has been going around a lot in the lockdown. So I'm pretty happy to see that as
That
well.
is really good. That is really good. We have, yeah, I've been seeing this one influencer, and a good friend of Shafa's, yeah, Uzair Kachi. I've seen him like do a lot of different shit with his like
Yeah,
with the shit going with in his room and on his roof as well. He's got these different bars and all that. It's very simple
yeah,
stuff. I
exactly.
think use like 2 or 3 different items and that is it. And like it just targets
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't need the fancy weights. And do you know that Uzair doesn't use weights too much either way? Like when he's working out in the gym, the stuff that he's using on his roof, that's like 80 to 70 to 80% of the
It's
things
strength
he
training,
uses in
right?
the gym as well.
It's strength
Yeah,
training,
and no,
right?
it's called functional training.
Functional training. All
Functional
right.
training.
So
Yeah.
what is functional training for those people like me who don't know jack shit?
Okay, functional training is something, if I have to describe it, what I think of it, it would be how to make your everyday life easier. So basically, functional training has those exercises, sorry, that are inspired from your everyday movements. For example, it's not more oriented towards weightlifting, but it's more oriented towards movement of your body as a whole. For example,
Yeah.
squats with a jump. Now, like what a person in a gym would do most probably is like get a bar and do squats with that. Now that's strengthening up his muscles, but what a person needs in his daily life more than he does need strength obviously, but he needs endurance and a good ratio of strength and endurance, right? So jumping up with a squat is that perfect blend of strength and endurance that you would need in your daily life. So functional training does
All
make
right.
your daily life and tasks easier. It gives you more stamina, more endurance throughout the day.
That is interesting. I never looked at it that way. I think I might just look into functional training even more.
Yeah, of course you should. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the other. Yes, I wanted to talk about the other side of workouts, which is food. And not desserts, but do you guys, chef, you specifically, do you cook food any time for yourself? And do you have any meals you really like cooking?
Yeah, I do. I recently started to learn how to cook around 1.5 year ago. I started to learn, but because of university, I wasn't too regular with my lessons with my parents and with my mom and my sisters. But whenever I had a day off, I would try and learn something. I used to Google recipes and all. And interestingly, recently we had a project at university. So what we had to do was look at why ovens are not used too much in Pakistan. I'm talking about baking ovens, not microwave ovens, and what is the reason behind that and how you can improve on to that. So what we learned throughout our project was basically even though a lot of things that we Pakistanis eat can be and are made in the oven, like a lot of stuff that you buy in the bakery, but we don't use it because we don't understand how ovens truly work. Since a lot of ovens in Pakistan are made actual uh, standards, and also it varies culture to culture. So Pakistanis don't really understand how something that's made for another culture, how you're going to utilize that for your culture. So I looked into that as well, and then I recently started baking, and so I try to bake my food whenever I can, vegetables and meat and whatever. And I personally love beef and broccoli. I cook that whenever I can. So it doesn't turn out to be too good, to be honest. But I hit my peak. I think 2 days ago. That was the best one I've cooked. So I was pretty happy 2 days ago.
He peaked 2 or 3 days ago, guys. It's only
No,
downhill from
I
here.
relate to that. I think I actually peaked yesterday. I made the best food I've ever cooked in my entire life.
Okay.
I bought salmon, and
Uh-huh.
basically what I did was I just pan seared it, and I
Mhm.
pan seared the top first. And once that was golden, I flipped it over, and I threw in an entire stick of butter and a bunch of garlic that was minced, and I just let it cook in the butter and the garlic for another 5 minutes. And I had this really soft but also
Yeah.
nice and crispy salmon fillet
Again.
it was amazing. I've honestly
Okay.
like I had that for lunch or around 5 o'clock, and me and a friend were talking around 11 about what we should have for dinner, and
Mhm.
we just didn't
Yeah.
eat food because we skipped dinner altogether because we agreed that no matter what we eat, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as the fish. Like we were like, you know what? It's not even worth trying to eat food at this point. We might as well just go to sleep and try again
Yo.
tomorrow.
All right. So when I started
No,
learning how to
that's the
cook,
thing.
so
That.
when I started learning, it was my family who was teaching me. So they were teaching me all the traditional dishes. Like I'll name them out in Urdu. Pulao ho gaya, ya biryani ho gaya, wo
Yeah, yeah,
uh, vegetables like tinde or ye shorba.
yeah.
If you're talking about meat, now that shit is really hard, and I honestly don't get how people make that. So how I got better was I started looking up at uh, looking onto recipes that I could I thought that were easier. So I went into chicken and beef recipes that were like 20 minutes long or at most 30 minutes long, and I realized that that worked better than the traditional recipes, and those take like 2-3 hours at times. So I worked out that if you're cooking something that takes a lesser amount of time, it could come out better. And like you mentioned, your salmon turned out pretty well, and I think it probably took like at most 40 minutes, right?
No, no, no. It took me so from the moment I walked into my apartment with the fish to the moment I sat down on the couch, it took me about 11 minutes. You cook it for 4 minutes on each side, and I spent a minute trying to open the packet that the fish was in. I used a butter knife, and that like got really confusing. And that's it. That was the entire meal.
That's great, man. I
Oh,
You need to tell me how to do that. I'll hit you up after this.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I'll
it
man.
try that
is
as soon as I can.
like
All right,
honestly, I'm not even joking.
guys,
I
and on
peaked.
that bombshell, guys, and on that bombshell, we've had a great fucking episode over here with the legend himself, Shopper Trains. And guys, do check out his Instagram at Shopper Trains. For those of you guys who use Instagram, and Salman, do you have a social media account that's public or no? Not
No,
yet, right?
I'm a private person by nature.
Yeah, yeah. So
My
the
parents
only
don't
time you
even
can
know
see
about this
Salman is through
podcast
these
yet.
episodes. Your parents don't even know about it. Yo, dude, that would be pretty fucking hilarious if they just like randomly come across it on YouTube. But generally,
Yeah,
guys.
or if they walk into Shuffa and my dad start talking about it, my dad's like, "Oh, really?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, really?
But yeah, guys. I think we're done over here. All right, I'll see you guys
Thank
in the
you very
next one.
much for
Peace.
having me,
Adios.
guys. It
Bye
was
bye.
really fun.